What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to We Hail. We have some big news to go over today. Today is Saturday, 6:24 a.m. And Washington yesterday was Friday. Hired 49ers assistant GM Adam Peters as general manager. Big signing. Washington doesn't get these kind of signings, at least not under the Dan Snyder era. This is the top dog, the one that everyone's out to get, the white whale, whatever you want to call it. He was the guy, and he's the best on the market right now. In fact, him and the other guy were like top 5, and he was an assistant GM. He was top 5 in GMs available. So, yeah, awesome signing. It's going to do great and wonders. And I do this every year. Is I look at Washington. I do it every year, but I don't know if I did it last year or not. I was very busy. But every year I do a thing where I try to predict what I think. I showcase what I think Washington should do with the team to try and have a quick turnaround. And I'm going to go and do that right now. So, hiring Adam Peters is what I would do if I was Adam Peters. First thing, I'll look at the cap space. Washington, I'm on overthecap.com. It says $75 million. 2 days ago, I looked at this and it was like $78 million. So, it's varying here and there. But let's just say we're going to have about $80 million in cap space. Okay, just about $80 million. Okay, we can cut more players and get more money. Okay, so $80 million is the top of the market. That's the most any team has. Okay. So if we look over this, we have some top contracts. We can't really cut. We're not going to really cut Allen, Payne, or McLaurin. If anything, we'll trade them, but we're not going to cut them. It costs too much money to cut them. However, we can cut a bunch of these no good, dirty offensive linemen. So if we cut Charles Leno Jr., we will save ourselves $12 million. Let me just make sure if it's a post. Yeah, if it's a post June 1st cut, so we can cut them now. It just won't hit until June 1st. We save ourselves $12 million right there by doing that. So now we're up to almost $90 million. Okay, so that'll save Washington $12 million. Andrew Wiley is a garbage one too. So if we do it pre-June 1st, we owe him $8 million. But if we do it post-June 1st, we will save ourselves $4 million. And he's garbage and needs replaced anyway. So both of them two can just go kick rocks and not be a part of this team anymore. And then the last one is Logan Thomas. He's owed $8 million this year. But if he's cut, we save ourselves $6.5 million and only have to pay him $1.7 million in dead cap. So I don't think there's anyone else that's really significant on that front when it comes to money. Some people have some guarantees. Let me see if this one's like a post June 1st. No, it doesn't help us really that much. It's not worth it. So there's not really anyone else out there that's going to save a lot of money. A lot of people owed some guaranteed money, and that would just cost us too much. There are some really small contracts that give you like $1 million here and there, but they're not. It's nothing significant. So Washington's done a pretty good job of handling the cap. We're in a situation where we can cut 3 players and save money almost instantaneously. So if we cut Curtis Samuel post June 1st, we can save like $2.4 million. But I don't want to cut Curtis Samuel. If we're gonna, might as well just keep him at that point. We might as well just keep him for the last year of his contract. So that'll bring us up to close to $100 million. Okay. Now I'm gonna go over the free agent market. So here's what JD, the GM, would do, and here's what I hope Adam Peters would do. You may do something completely different. Okay? For example, I view Sam Howell as our franchise quarterback. I don't think we've given him a fair shot because we put him behind a garbage offensive line, and Eric Bieniemy is pretty good at creating plays, but he's not good at calling plays. Okay? He made some adjustments early in the season, but he did not make those same adjustments late. And it also didn't help that our defense sucks. So that could be part of why his play calling was the way it was. But I don't believe we've given Sam Howell like a legit option at quarterback because we have not protected him. I've watched games, and just being honest here, other quarterbacks are having 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds to throw a football, and Sam Howell's getting in the back of his 3-step drop and he's getting hit. So I know he's held the ball a little bit. I know things happen, but in all reality, he did not have a good offensive line in front of him, and I don't think any quarterback would have done well with that offensive line in front of him. Okay, so I've switched over to offensive line on this, and we're going to see what's available in the market. Now, I think both of our right tackles are gone. We should get rid of them. Gone. Leno, Wiley, Cornelius Lucas, gone. Okay, maybe keep Cornelius as a backup if he's cheap, but gone. Okay, and I believe Washington should go in the free agent market and get some of these guys, and then we're going to draft the rest. Okay, so here's what's available. Center-wise, I actually don't hate our centers. I don't dislike Tyler Larson. I don't dislike Nick Gates. And we have Nick Gates contracted for next year, and we have a rookie on contract who is, what's his name? Ricky Stromberg. So maybe Ricky Stromberg ascends this year, and we don't have to worry about the center market, but I'm looking at center market regardless. So the first one is Connor Williams. He played for Miami last year. He was a center. He's owed about $14-15 million. We have the cap space to pay for all these guys, by the way. We have plenty of money to rebuild this whole offensive line instantaneously. Jonah Williams is a tackle. I don't know if he was a right tackle or a left tackle, but he was a tackle for the Bengals. And he's going to be owed about $15-16 million. And I think Washington can go get him. So we can go the free agent route if we want to fix our offensive line. There's other guys available. There's plenty of young guys. I don't like getting an old guy. I'm not going to get someone who's in their 30s. I'm not doing that. That is not a long-term solution. It is a short-term solution. Now, if you don't have any options, sure, go with the short-term solution. Pay Travis Kelce a lot of money, be our center for a year or two. But he's up there in age. He's 36, for example. That's why I didn't look at him. There's left tackles out there that cost more. Tyron Smith is actually very good. So if you're not going to draft a offensive lineman this year, you can definitely get it, but he's probably looking for a long-term deal. I don't know if we want to give someone that old, that long a deal. So we need offensive line fixed. Okay, and I just threw out a couple options that we can do if we wanted to spend money on the offensive line. We also need to get some linebackers. That's the other position I think Washington needs to fill. So linebackers, there's definitely a market for linebackers. Daniel Hunter seems to be the best one on the market right now. He's going to cost about $20 million a year. We have the money, so that's not like it's not out there and not in the realms of possibility to get a player like that. Jerome Baker also from Daniel Hunter was from Minnesota, not Miami. Jerome Baker is from Miami. We could probably get him. Devin White's solid linebacker. Not the greatest linebacker, but solid. He's fast, but he's going to be owed a pretty good contract. Let's see. Isaiah Simmons would be another great one that I like personally, but he's going to be about $17 million. So there is a market to fill the void that we have at the linebacker position as well. And I think those are the two main positions that Washington needs to focus on in the offseason. Okay, so let's just say we don't do the financial route and signing a bunch of players. We're going to draft. So I'm going to do a quick mock draft. I'm going to do two. One is going to be no trade backs. We're going to take what we can get at the positions that are available, best available, or I'll pick something that I think we need. And then the second one will be trade backs. Now, if I was a GM, I would trade back as much as humanly possible. Okay, I would get as many picks as I could this year and next year, and then the year after that, whatever, and just always trade back. I would probably never just take the unless it's like a slam dunk and we are so confident on the guy. But my opinion is you need to keep, like, if I were to tell you 1 out of every 4 draft picks is starter, is a hit, whatever case may be, would you not be incentivized to get as many draft picks as possible? That's the way I view it. Okay, so that's what I feel. And if you get as many picks you get, as many, they're basically lottery picks, and you're rolling the dice every time you sign anyone. Okay, so this is the first draft I'm going to do with no trade backs. Okay, now again, I'm coming at this from the mentality that we found our franchise quarterback in Sam Howell. So what are we going to do now? Okay. So first overall pick, Caleb Williams already gets signed. Now, like I said, I'm not doing any trades, so I'm just going to ignore the trades right now. Even though I don't want to get Marvin Harrison Jr. We have 3 receivers that we have right now. Maybe next draft, next year, we can get a receiver. But we have 3 good receivers right now, and we have some pretty decent depth. So I don't think we need to go get a receiver and have 4 receivers and have 2 that we've got in the first round the last 2 years. Terry McLaurin's making $20 million a year, and Curtis Samuel's making like 13. It's a lot of cap space and a lot of resources allocated to one position. It's just a reverse of what we did with the defensive line the last few years. So I don't think a receiver's good. I don't think quarterback's good. So this is why I think Washington will trade back, because there's going to be people who are want to go trade up and get that, and we can get a lot of assets, a lot of picks. We already have 5 picks in top 100. What if we got 7 picks in top 100? Okay, we can pretty much rebuild every position we need to in one offseason. So it's going to be a lot of rookies, but we're going to build with those rookies. So I think we're going to take offensive tackle Joe Alt, which, like I said, it's an A. So that means he could have probably got him at like 5, 6, 7, 8 maybe. So, but I think we got to get the best offensive tackle on the market. We got to protect our quarterback, and he's the best available on the market. So, the whole draft goes by, and then we get to our next position. And again, not trading back. And so we're at a spot where I think we could probably get another offensive tackle. We can get a left tackle and a right tackle in the same draft. So I think the Kingsley Matitatia, or whatever his name is, would be our best bet. It keeps saying quarterback. We don't need a quarterback, not at least in the first rounds. We want to get a quarterback to have access to someone in the later rounds and just have him as a backup so we don't have to hire a veteran. Fine, I'm cool with that. But I don't think Washington's going to need to be doing that. So, pick 40, and we're right on par with where I think we need to be. So, what do I think we need? I think we need to get another edge rusher. Then we get linebacker. Interior offensive line would be good. Tight end, and the rest of the things can kind of go by the wayside. But interior defense or defensive end is fine. So, defensive line, we have Chris Jenkins, who's a solid player. We also have some linebackers here. Again, I would like to trade it back. So, for example, let's say we look at the offers. We trade back one spot, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more picks in this draft. That's we trade back 4 spots. That one's not as good. If we trade back, that's not as good either. But this right here would be a great pick because we go back one spot and we get 4 more picks now. That's why trading back to me is so valuable. And there's no one here that's like jumping off the page like, gotta get this guy, gotta get this guy. So, yeah, that's where we're at. I don't think we need safety. We have plenty of safeties. We're probably going to re-sign Cameron Curl. So either we got to go with D-line or we got to go with a linebacker. And at this very second, I don't think there's a great option there. When's our next pick? 67. So I'm just going to go with a linebacker from Texas A&M that I know is pretty solid. We need that more than a defensive line. Defensive line, we got Payne, Allen, Ridgeway, Fedarius Mathis. So we don't really need the defensive line part right now. Now Fedarius Mathis keeps getting injured, so that's a problem. But I guess I got one more year before I'm really going to just bail and look to somewhere else. So this is another one, decent one, two picks back. And okay. So now we're at a spot where we can get a couple of things. So we can get a running back, we can get a tight end. I think tight end to me is probably the best position, or interior offensive line. So we need a dynamic tight end. We're going to cut Logan Thomas, in my opinion. And we do have some pretty decent, like John Bates is not bad, but he drops passes. Okay. We do have Cole Turner, but he can't block. So we need to get a young, athletic tight end, especially for our new coach, which is going to be Ben Johnson. He's going to want a good tight end to throw to. But I also think interior offensive line is pretty important, but we're going to go with tight end. Okay, and he's such a value. So it does grade like where guys are. And this is part of why I like to trade back, because sometimes you got to reach for a player you need. And, there's kind of a mixed bag of, do you always get the best available player? Or do you always, do you get other things? So now we have 2 picks pretty much back to back. We have a pick in between us, so we can get a couple things that we need. So it's good that we picked the tight end, because Washington, we can now get an interior offensive lineman, so a guard, right here. And if we really wanted to, we could probably get a running back. We are going to lose Antonio Gibson to free agency. I don't care what anyone says. We're not going to resign Antonio Gibson. We're not. It's just not going to happen. So we have a couple options here. We can take best available, which seems to be a corner, which don't hate that idea, because I don't know if Benjamin Juiced is going to be able to work in the next coach's system. I don't know if Forbes is, but it's the best available player. And what are we looking at needs-wise? We still need an edge rusher, but there's no edge rushers available, at least that I can see. We do have edge rushers. We do have some guys on the roster that can play edge. Okay, but we don't need them. It's not a dire need. Okay, we can survive by playing like a 3-man front, move Allen to a defensive end or something, and play more guys that are just talent-wise. Maybe not off the edge speed, but we can do a couple things and maneuver that way, or maneuver around that. The new coach may go to a 3-4 scheme, so then we're paying Payne, Allen, and whoever the other defensive end, Fedarius Mathis or Ridgeway, and just having a big bulky D line and then loading up on linebackers. I don't know. We'll see. But I think we go with best available at this position. We don't need another interior defensive lineman. We did get a linebacker, so cornerback would probably be a pretty good feat right there to have. Pretty good value. So hopefully we can get across an edge rusher in the next round. So these are the picks we have left. Again, I've expressed my opinion. I think you trade back as much as possible. My cough drops like evaporating in my mouth. That's why you see me maneuver weird. Okay, so next available. There's nothing really here that stands out as like a must-have. We're at pick 137, so we're still going to get some value wherever we get it. And I don't see defensive end anywhere. So we may not get defensive end in this draft, but we can get a receiver. Let's draft the receiver at this point. And I'm looking at the QB market right now. What QBs are available. So I like Jordan Travis. He's actually wouldn't be a horrible backup, in my opinion. But we might just take him in the 7th round because that's when he'll be available. I think your best bet now is defensive end or running back. And there's a lot of players we can get in the free agency. Okay, so this actually brings up some good options here with when it comes to drafting. We can pick linebacker and have another linebacker position. I don't want another tight end, don't want another cornerback, don't want another receiver. So we have 2 linebacker options. One's from Penn State, Curtis Jacobs, or Tyron Hopper. I'm trying to see if there's a running back in here. There's not. We can get one undrafted. I think we just take best available. I'll take one from a school I'm more familiar with, which is Penn State. And then in the last round, we'll draft the quarterback. So looking at this draft, we got an offensive tackle for the left side of the line. Left offensive tackle will protect our blind side of our quarterback. We got a right offensive tackle. We got a linebacker to add some depth to our linebacker position, which we still may get free agents on that. We still may get free agents on the defensive line. Or, on the offensive line. And then we got a tight end to be a playmaker with our new dynamic offense we're going to have with Ben Johnson. That's who I think we're going to sign, by the way, is Ben Johnson, if you haven't figured that out by now. And that is it. So if you recap, like I said, left tackle, right tackle, linebacker to pair with Jamin Davis and Jabril Cox. Tight end that can come in and replace Logan Thomas. Interior offensive lineman, a potential starting guard. We have a right starting guard in Cosme. He's the only one I think is actually really safe on our O-line. If we got rid of anyone else, I wouldn't bat an eye. But Cosme is our best by far. So this could be our left guard, potentially, competing with Chris Paul. We might sign one in free agency. I don't know. Cornerback, add a little depth there. Potentially replace Kendall Fuller. Wide receiver from Louisville, Jamari Thrash. Sorry, I can't pronounce names. And then a linebacker and then a quarterback that we can get late. I'm going to go ahead and restart this. And we're going to see the difference in what we can get if we trade back. So this will be the last thing on the video. So hope you're excited about this. Hopefully get some good offers. So the first offer right away is a trade with the New York Giants to number 6. We get an extra 2nd round pick and an extra 3rd round pick. Not horrible. This is actually not a bad option either. If we were to value like nothing in this draft we need, we could do that. I don't know if I want to go back to 17. So unfortunately, I'm going to trade with our rival. And we could still get the guy I want, which is Joe Alt. We can trade back to 6, and we have no trade-up options, so we're going to have to take our offensive tackle at pick number 6. Still an A, but we've accumulated 2 more draft picks. That was the key to that. And stuff next year. I wish it'd show you on this, like, what you accumulated in the next years to see, like, how your future situation is. So, we got our pick at 26. 35. And we have an option to trade back. No. Just 2 options. Probably not this one. Maybe at 40 we will. And, like I said, similar scenario. Bunch of offensive tackles I think were taken. It won't let you scroll back and look, so it's kind of stupid. But it is what it is. We don't need to be getting a quarterback here. We don't need to be getting much here, except for maybe another offensive tackle. I'm not getting a quarterback. Safety seems to be a position of interest for people, but I will just take another offensive tackle here and do the same thing we did last time. Actually, I'll just take the same guy. No, I'll take a little bit higher. So it might be, nope, same grade. Okay, so now we got a trade back option. So we can trade back 7 spots and get nothing this year. Yeah, that's not value to me. That's not valuable to me. So we're in a position where we can get, now we got another, we can get a defensive lineman, we can get a tight end. I think if we did that, we'd reach for that tight end because we got that tight end level at pick 47 last time. You know what? I'm going to restart this because I don't think we have a lot of great options here. So this will be the only time I restart it. Just want to see if there's better options that we can get at everything. So trade up. We get 1 pick. Wow, that okay. Well, I lied. I'm gonna do 1 more because those are some horrible options. Horrible options. This thing really is random. So, all right. So we can trade back 1 spot and get 2 picks. I'm gonna do that. 1 spot, get 2 picks. Go for it. Now we're gonna trade back 7 spots and get stuff next year, which is pointless. I don't see the point in doing that. Or we can trade back 9 spots and get a 5th rounder. That seems amazing. Not really. So I think we're just going to have to draft a offensive lineman here. Same guy. I still think that's our best bet in the first round. Joe Alt seems to be the best offensive tackle on the market. So we're going to get a pick at 34 and 36. Hopefully 34 we can trade back and get something else in the 40s here. That's what the goal is here. Okay, so I can trade back 12 picks and get a couple more things. I can trade back 5 picks, get a 3rd rounder. There's really not a lot of good trade options. The one I do that to get me to do where I do trades is I get some of the worst trade options. This is probably the one I'm going to accept. It'll give me another 3rd rounder. Okay, so I didn't miss out on much because I went back just a couple steps. I still get the same offensive tackle tandem that I was going to get anyway. But now I've accumulated a couple extra picks. And I'm going to see if there's anything decent. So I can go back 4 picks and get another 3rd. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And I'm not going back that far. So now I can get it. Now I can actually get an edge rusher. Get an edge rusher, and in 2 picks I can get a linebacker if I want. And I get a linebacker, which is exactly why I like trading back, because I get the guy I want. Yeah, I'm not trading back anymore. So now I can get a linebacker. So I got an edge rusher and a linebacker. And hopefully I can still get the tight end I want. We'll see. At 47, hopefully there's a tight end available. Maybe not the one I got before, but not bad. So trading back has netted me 2 different players. I still got a linebacker, Edrin Cooper, but it netted me Chris Braswell, an edge rusher from Alabama. So we've filled the edge rusher void that we need now. So let's go ahead and look at the rest. So there's some cornerbacks that have been available. Where's the next best tight end? We'll get the tight end a little bit later. Kid from Ohio State. We'll get him later. So cornerback, this has come across a lot of the mock drafts that I've done actually, is Josh Newton. Has been coming across a lot, and I think he adds pretty good value to the cornerback room. And now we can get an interior offensive lineman from either Georgia or WVU. I went to WVU, so big fan there. But I think Cedric Van Pran is probably your best bet. Interior offensive line. So now you got your guard, and now you have to get a guard super late. So now we can get potentially a tight end. And trading back. 1 pick for 2 more picks. Yes. We'll go back 1 pick. There we go. Good. And if we need to, we can get a running back. Now we have the ability to get a running back. I don't think a tight end's available yet. It's getting there. Okay, so around pick 91. So around pick 82, we need to be looking at a linebacker, or tight end. But right now, I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be a good idea if Washington got a running back. We'll get the guy from Michigan. I like the guy from Michigan. Trey Benson isn't too bad either, but we're going to take the guy from Michigan. And we get an option to trade back. Hopefully we get a good option to trade back, so we can trade 1 pick and get 4 more picks. That's just insanely good to me, and yeah, I'm going to go and do that. Go back 1 pick, and now we can go back 2 more picks and get stuff next year, which we don't want to do. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. That one's not horrible, and I think the tight end we want will still be available around that time. 3 picks. Yeah, I'm going this one. Okay. And nope, I'm good. I'm good with what I got. So I need to grab a certain player, 86. We're gonna reach a little bit, but we need a tight end. Nothing else in here is super out of this world great. We did already get a linebacker, so we don't need a linebacker. We can get another receiver. We have plenty of picks to grab receivers down here. And the good thing about receivers is the receivers have been accumulating value later in picks drafts the last few years. Like you can get a receiver in like the 3rd or 4th round. They're still solid. That's where we got McLaurin. And so this would literally be how I would handle GM. I would trade back as much as possible, as often as possible, and we can still get a pretty decent receiver in Brendan Rice. We can also get an inside offensive lineman. We can get cornerback, linebacker. So a lot of these things are available. We have more of a need at wide receiver right now than we do at another linebacker. So I'm going to go that route. I think the next pick I have, we're going to look at, so I can go back 1 pick and get a 6th. Usually I would say yeah, but I think we're getting a little too trade happy here, but I think I will do that. Just accumulate 1 extra pick. Let them have their edge rusher from Colorado. No. Go back 6 picks. No. 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 We do have a pick next, so we're not losing anything. I'm not going to do that. So, what do we need now? We need defensive line, a quarterback, and maybe build some more depth on the O-line. So, linebacking core, we could get a linebacker here. The suggestions say defensive line. Yeah, that seems to be the best option, honestly. And can we trade back anything? 5 picks for stuff next year. Not worried about next year. I'm worried about right now. 1 more 7th rounder. Not a big deal. Okay, so what quarterbacks are available at this point? We got a Tulane. I like a no-name quarterback. I like that. But that's at pick 106. I think we could probably get him at like 118 or something. So we don't need to get that right now. It's not dire to get that right now. But what do we need more right now? So cornerbacks. Let's just get another linebacker or an edge rusher. We could use an edge rusher. We got plenty of O-line at this point. We got interior and 2 tackles. We got a cornerback already. We can add more to that. We can never have too many good linebackers, but let's just take Peyton Wilson. I guess he's, I don't know why he's 87th on the board if he's ranked. If he's gonna get a B+ and you get him 20 positions lower than what he could have got him. So let's look at quarterback here. We're going to look at quarterback at 118. I'm going to take quarterback. So now, pretty much at this point in the draft, we're just going to take best available player, which, best available right there. And there's not really a suggestion of a player now, so I'm not going to do it. I don't want to take another linebacker. That's ridiculous. I'd rather just take another cornerback. Ooh, a trade back option. No, I'm good. Not a lot of options. We'll just go with an edge rusher. Oh my god, I have so many picks. I literally have to pick the litter here. 3 picks back for 1 more pick. No. See, this is my thing. I like this. I like being able to draft so many players and then figuring out which one fits into the scheme the best. So I'm just going to take best available. Safety. We got plenty of safeties, but taking best available. Oh, boy. I'm going to get another edge rusher, see if we can get who ascends from the group of edge rushers. Tyron Hopper is still available. Nope, not anymore. Running back. Another tight end. Decent tight end from, actually, pretty decent tight end from North Carolina. So we're going to take another tight end. Best available player. They're saying a running back. There's a cornerback. There's a running back. There's a cornerback. Interior O-line. Let's grab that. I'm at the point where I'm kind of traded out. I'm traded back so much. Now this would be where I would just... Actually, this would be a great position where I would just trade picks for next year. 2025th round 1 pick. Really? For a 6th round pick today, you're giving me a round 1. Okay. Nope. Nope. See, this is another round 1 pick. Yep, 2025. I've got all the stuff I need. Yeah, I'm going to accumulate as many draft picks I can for the next year. This is totally unrealistic. Let me keep this in mind. Keep that in mind. A lot of these things are unrealistic about how many trade. Like, I think you can only have so many picks in one draft legally. So next year this would be a whole. Like, I would just, God bless. I'd be the GM of the century if I got this in a round. Now I got to draft the player. Let's get a kicker. I think a GM once said that you never draft a kicker. Never draft a kicker, and we'll just draft a receiver. And this will finish out the draft. So, like I said, this is not quite realistic. You're not going to get this many trade backs, but if it was, this would be my mentality and my tactic, and you see why. So we got offensive tackle. Both offensive tackles starting. Defensive end potentially, a linebacker potentially, a cornerback that can be in the mix, an inside guard, running back that could be a day one contributor, tight end would be a day one contributor, receiver that can be in the mix, defensive line that can be in the mix, linebackers, a quarterback that's not going to create controversy because we got him so late, secondary help, another edge rusher, so on and so forth. So I know this was crazy. I know if you look at this, like, that's insane. You can't get all that stuff. I know, but the point is, you can accumulate 2 or 3 more picks in a crucial point in the draft where talent there's not a deviation of talent. It's like it levels off compared to like what are the first rounders, and there's like their second tier players. You can get so many of those second tiers, and that's where teams are built. You don't build teams from the first round. The first round's not built. Doesn't build a team. The second, the third, and the fourth, and the fifth rounds is what build teams, and you can accumulate tons of picks in those rounds and give you the option. So this has been JD. This has been the Washington We Hail YouTube channel. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I know it's been 31 minutes. I hope you understand that what I'm trying to look for. I'm not looking for a quarterback. I have a quarterback. What I'm looking for is to protect the quarterback we have. And then if he's bad, after we protect him, we solidify his weapons, the defense is better, and he's bad, then we can move on next year and we have all this stuff in place to plop a quarterback behind and be good. And Ben Johnson can build a quarterback in his image. But I think Sam Howell is the guy. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Have a good one. Hail to the Commanders, and see ya.